How's it going? Did you see Lucas cooked you? Yeah, Lucas said a point that I said. It's crazy. He got me. Someone sent me out on IG. It was fun. Beautiful voice. What's up, guys? Yeah, Lucas Tracy thing was weird to me, man, because, I don't know. I said that, you know? I think a lot of these MMA YouTubers, they hear the crash out, but then they don't hear the composure afterwards and try and ignore it, which was kind of a weird thing. I even have it here. I was checking it now because I just went on my Instagram and I saw it. Do you guys want to hear what he said? And I'll play it. Thank you for the $1. Appreciate you, man. Lucas owns you. Lucas mugs you. All right. Right. What did Lucas say? Like, I understand I crashed out at 6 a.m., but I think everyone sort of goes at my 6 a.m. just after the fight, dead on my fucking running out of life, 1 HP takes. And then when I compose myself for an actual recap, like, it's easier said than done, you know? If you were streaming, like, you would have some takes in the moment that wouldn't be the best for the sake of emotion, but who sent it to me today? This guy sent it to me today. Look, can you hear this? Let me play it. So this is what Lucas said, which is true.
To sit here and to say that, you know, Pratis, you know, MMA Guru, for example, he's saying Pratis turned it into a fight. Where was that spirit in the second and third? This was not Carlos Pratis is trying to wing for Garry, right? Where was that in the second round? This guy at the end of the second round had only thrown like 5 significant strikes.
And that's a good point. But then this is my reaction to the Garry versus Pratis fight just after saying that Ian Garry looked good and technical. But he's very good and very technical. But Carlos Pratis, throw a fucking shot for the first 3 rounds. You're the cigarette smoker. I thought there'd be urgency early and disaster late. That was the payoff. But no, the cigarette smoker's like, oh, can't wait for the 4th and 5th round. So I don't know, just people just I don't know. I correct my takes. I said that. That was a take I had. So it's interesting. I don't know. People were sending me that on IG and I saw it and I thought, dude, I literally screamed this at the top of my lungs as an initial reaction. So, I don't know. I guess he just switched it off after he heard me say something else. But I get it. It is what it is. Thank you for the $1. Miguel Che, appreciate you. It's good to get a mention in a Lucas Tracy video, though. It's nice that he finally mentioned me. I do watch Lucas a lot, so it's good that he mentioned me. And even if it was just to, like, pick apart a take that I also had that he ignored. Did you see Garry post-fight interview? Not on the media day, no. I watched the Octagon interview I've seen, yeah, but I haven't seen the media day interview. No, I can't be asked. Ian Garry landed more significant strikes than Pratis had strikes thrown. Yeah, he landed more, yeah. I'm not denying that. I never did. I just wanted Ian Garry to lose. Like, when you have emotion to it and you, like, want someone to win or have a moment where you're going to rage if someone that you hate wins or, you know, be overwhelmed with joy if someone that you love wins. Then you're going to have this initial emotional fucking reaction to it as like a human. You know, if I didn't do a fight companion and I just sat there and then waited to do a recap video afterwards, I'd have more of a composed take. But 6 a.m., the hype's building up. I've been trashing him all week and building up this fucking hatred and we're going to see him get slept and the storyline's there and it doesn't happen. I'm going to crash out, you know. That's the entertainment value. But yeah, I literally had the take that he corrected me for. But it was good to finally get a mention in his video, even if it was just to correct me on something that I did say. But I like Lucas. He's cool. I watch his videos. I mention him all the time. All the time. Reference him. Do the crafty vet, big meaty hooks. But it was good to finally get a reference back from these channels. Carlos Paticate Pratis. Appreciate it too. Make a video exposing Lucas. No, because he said the take, you know. That was my take. Like, he said, oh, Guru said this, But actually, it's this. But I also said that and then went, but at the end of the day, it's on Prates as well, because throw a fucking strike in the first 3 rounds. What are you doing? But he must have seen my take and then paused it in a rage and thought, oh, I'm going to fucking get him on this in a video. But if he would have just let it play, I guess. I don't know what he watched. Maybe he was watching my fight companion. I don't know. But I did say that. I did say, like, at the end of the day, Prates, what the fuck are you doing? But I don't know. He doesn't rage like you. Yeah, he doesn't. I don't know. Most people don't have the emotion, but they also don't do fight companions. So they're just sitting there, like, watching the fight and then giving their analysis and assessment. But I don't know. I feel like people are... You know what I don't like, chat? This isn't even about Lucas. I like Lucas. I don't think he's even getting me. He said what I said. Prates needed to throw a lot more early. But people have this shock. Like... You go, when Ian Garry wins, chat, yes or no? When Ian Garry wins a fight, is there a part of you that goes, I can't wait to see how Guru crashes out about this? Don't you think? If that's all he said, he's nothing. I know, but people have been spamming me like, dude, you've got to address this. I'm not getting angry about it. Like, I like Lucas Tracy. Like, there's no beef. But there's like, dude, Guru's going to crash out about this. You know what I mean? I hate Ian Garry. I'm going to crash out when he wins. I want to see Ian Garry get slept in the cage. I want it. Like, I'm not hiding that. I never hide that. When Makhachev versus Volkanovski, I want Volk to smash his fucking head through the canvas in round 5. You know? So when it ends and I don't get that, and I'm so close to getting it in round 5 and Prates throws it away, I'm going to say, fuck Ian Garry, man, the bitch. You know what I mean? I'm going to say that because that's how I feel. I have an emotion towards the sport. I don't just have no emotion towards the sport. You know? That's what it is. So I wanted to see Prates sleep Garry and fucking flatline him into the canvas. And there's a difference, I think, between a reaction and an analysis. I do both. I don't just do an analysis after the fight and sit there in silence watching it. Like, I'm actually going through the ebbs and flows of the fight. You're too emotional? For an Ian Garry fight, yeah. I fucking want him dead. Dude, I want Ian Garry out cold on the canvas. That's what I want. I want Garry out cold on the canvas. So when I see a chance of it, I'm fucking cheering. And when I see it slips away, I fucking hate it. You know what I mean? This is the point. Like, I love that. And when Trevor Peake goes out there and sleeps some dude with a fucking standing hammer fist, I'm fucking loving it, dude. You know? Or when any other example of that, like Peter Yan finally starts to build momentum. I'm not going to count the Song Yudong things. I'm cheering for Peter Yan. This is the sport. I have emotions, you know? So, I don't know why I have to describe this concept. I just feel like people, I don't know, they get on to me about these things. But like, I've been doing this. Someone said, I've never seen cope like this from Guru before. And I'm like, you never seen me cope like this? This is like every few months. We have one of these moments where I build this thing and I get myself so invested and I really want something from the fight and I just don't get it, or I get it. And that's why I enjoy this sport, because I pick my side. You know, I want something from the result of the fight. I don't just sit there and, wow, good. Oh, the way he taps that leg is real slick. I'll save that for some prelim guy I don't care about. When it's some big heated matchup in the main event, I want it one way or the other, dude. That's where the fun is for me. But that's that, you know what I mean? I'm going to have an emotional take at 6 a.m. when I've been waiting all card and we get to it and it's not happening and it nearly happens in the 5th. That's the point to me. But I don't know, people, they don't like that, I guess. Well, I think a lot more people do. So I'm going to keep doing it. And that's all I do. More entertaining and more stacked. 155 versus 170. 170 right now is really good. 170 is very, very good. Which was big. You got to send Awana to Belize? No. Scared of gassing? Thank you for the 2. Maybe he was scared. He feared the gas tank. But also that Garry was so fast early on that he was like, this guy's got to slow down. He can't move this much and shoot this much takedowns. You know what I mean? Seeing anything from the boxing yesterday? Yeah, I watched the fight, dude. Fucking sick fight between the two of them. Absolutely amazing. Sup, Guru? Love the videos, man. Can you shout out my mate Jack? Shout out to Jack. Thank you for the $2. Do you think Huffy will beat Dariush? Now I don't know, dude. Now I don't know about this fighting nerd thing. But I do think he'll beat Dariush. Yeah, he's very good. Ian is the most misunderstood fighter on the roster. One on short notice, and though he's not a brawler, he's a good striker. He's a good technical striker, yeah. He's good. Thank you for the 5. I was entertained as well in round 5. It was a sick round. Shut up, Julius. You seen that viral tweet saying 100 men can't beat a gorilla? Animals are so overhyped. I think so as well. Top 5 heavyweights can get it done. I think, chat, yes or no, about this gorilla thing with 100 men can't beat a gorilla. This is true. What's it called? I've never seen a gorilla on a fucking running machine. It ain't killing 100 men. It's just not. It's not killing 100 men. The gorilla can gas out, you know. Like, it will go and it'll start breathing heavy by the time 20 of them are dead, you know? And then the other 40 come in and start fucking kicking and punching. And it starts ripping apart another 12 Indians. You know what I mean? And it's even more tired. And then more shots. The other 20 men come in and we save the heavyweights till last. Whites and blacks, go. You know what I mean? And we start running and fucking stomping and punching. And then the gorilla would be cooked with 100 men. You know? You know what I don't understand, chat? Why do people act like humans didn't get by before we had guns? You know? Dude, humans wouldn't be here if we couldn't take a dangerous animal 100 on 1. Yes or no in chat? Humans would not be here if we couldn't take a dangerous animal 100 on 1. Weapons or not. Straight up. That's our advantage. We had spears? No. Weapons or not, we wouldn't be here if we couldn't take a dangerous animal 100 on 1. Fact. So, although we're not at that point now in our evolution, I think the average person is more well-trained. I think 100 men would beat a gorilla in a fight. 10 would absolutely lose. Now, 100 men who are scared and don't all want to commit, different story. You know, people are saying once the gorilla does this to the first one, the rest of them aren't going to want to fight. But if the humans are absolutely the last 100 humans on Earth, and a gorilla is in their way from the last 100 female humans on Earth, you know, with their children on the other side, dude, 100 men are absolutely defeating that gorilla. Absolutely. No chance. It will kill a good 10. It will wound another dozen. But we will destroy that gorilla. You know what I mean? It will gas out and it won't be able to kill all 100 and we will stomp it to death in the head. Kick its fucking face in. Punch it in the fucking head. You know what I mean? We need to simulate it, yeah. The gorilla will lose all the eyes. Yeah, once the gorilla's eyes get gouged out while it's destroying 2 of them and gassing out after a dozen, like, it's over. You know what I mean? It's over. Sup Guru, hope all is well. Just a reminder that Weidman and Stipe got no retirement package, but Anthony Smith got a 4-minute package whilst being 13 and 12. It was awful. Awful, awful, awful. You were absolutely seething at the Simon jokes. I was, yeah. Thank you for the $2. I hated it, dude. I hated seeing Simon lose. Kaio third world mystery meet in Bryce comments. All right. Probably the best boxing fight I've watched live. It was a great fight. It was a really good fight. Lucas glazed the in shit is cringy and was crawling. Yeah, I don't think... This is the thing. When I go one way with it, everyone else has to now take the opposing thing. He still got bitched in the 5th round. That's not a good look. So he didn't dominate the fight. But he schooled Prates in the early rounds in the technical striking. Like, while they were both fresh, dude, Ian Garry was a different level on the striking to Carlos Prates. You can say that. But he did get bitched as the fight went on. That's true. It's balanced. You got Prime Smith at least. Would you prefer Smith wins? Doesn't retire over a Garry loss. At least we can hate watch Ian for years to come. True. Sup, Guru? Tryhards piss me off. They call Garry high IQ. Ian Garry's a high IQ fighter. Yeah. How is one watching Garry crawl for dear life to get a win and talk his nonsense and not expect us to be annoyed that he won? Annoyed that he won. God forbid we want the winner to not just survive and actually put on a show. He did put on a show for 3 rounds. The early 3 rounds, he did put on a show. And he had moments even in the last 2. But yeah. Thank you for the $10. I don't understand the Garry hate. He's skilled. It's not about his skill level. I don't know what there is to get across. I don't know. It's not about the skill level of Ian Garry. I'm not saying Ian Garry's not skilled, therefore I hate him. I hate Ian Garry because he's a corny, annoying, cringe to listen to. And every time he speaks, I want to rip my fucking ears off and punch a fucking hole in my screen. So I want him slept. Like, that is what it is. You know what I mean? I can find someone annoying in the sport. You know, Jones is very skilled as a fighter. I want him slept out cold before he leaves this sport. And I'll be happy. I want it. You know? I don't know. I think people think I'm hiding this. I'm not. I'm not hiding this. This is who I am. Like, I want certain fighters slept, and I want other fighters to win. And if my favorite fighter loses, I'll crash out. And if my favorite fighter wins, I'll fucking cheer for joy that it happened. You know? People saying they'd never seen Cope like it. Like, the Marab Yan situation. Hello? But the problem is then everyone already liked Yan, so they just accepted my take on that one a little bit more. Too biased. It's an MMA Guru stream, lad. If you want NPC takes, watch the ESPN desk. The reason this channel exists is for rooting for a side muppet. Yeah. Like, I honestly, yeah, thank you for the £5. I think that was the storyline this fight is, are we going to see Ian Garry slept in this main event for being so annoying for his whole career? It is about Ian Garry, Carlos Prates, and if you want to be that side of you, if you want to be the Luke Thomas of MMA YouTube, then you can. But I'm going to be the fucking, you know, I want something to happen. I'm rooting for something to happen. I like the fun of it, you know, the storyline, I have a take, I have a stance, I have a side that I'm rooting for. They never saw Cheeto stuffed Guru after Jones. True. Thank you for the $2. So I guess it's back to holding pads for Cameron. Yes. Yes. Ah, shut up, dude. Pay-per-view's expensive, dude. I owe you. Impression of Gay Connor. Somebody fucking sniff a line out me gooch, mate. I don't know. Thank you for the 2.